It's gonna take more than fancy talk to keep you up all night crawling around these bushes. More fancy talk.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to our first episode of our new podcast, the Fancy Talk Podcast. I'm Nick Pusch. We got Blaster. We got Bud. Gentlemen, how you doing tonight?
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Doing good.
Are you guys excited to get this rolling here?
Definitely excited to get this rolling.
Mm-hmm.
So, just to give everyone kind of some context here, we obviously, if you've been following any of our channels, we all have our own YouTube channels, and we kind of decided to start a weekly show because we love talking movies. Obviously, mostly we talk about horror movies, but we thought it'd be cool to branch out. And don't worry, we're still going to talk horror movies, but we thought it'd be cool to branch out and start a weekly show, mostly just to just to connect with the viewers and just get some consistency. So it should be fun. This is our first one, and we're excited to go. So, Bud, you want to kind of give everyone what the format's going to be for this show?
So we're going to do a little bit of news here, a few Halloween ends, tidbits, some things that have happened today. We'll talk about that a little bit, and then, whatever we want to bring up. I mean, it won't always be, Halloween ends related. We're going to try to talk about other genres and other big, film news, because, we love film. And then we're going to do a top 10 favorite movies tonight. It'll be our personal top 10s, and we want to see in the chat, we want to see everybody's, share your favorite movies with us, and we're going to share ours. And we were originally just going to do the top 5, but we
found out how tough it was.
It's tough, and we were going to do 3 honorable mentions. So we're like, well, that's 8. Fuck it, let's just do a top 10. So that's.
Dude, I wrote down 50 fucking movies.
That's not how it went. That's not how it went. Jake Blaster was being a baby. He couldn't pick 5. Sends a text message 9 hours ago. Can we do 10? Fine.
You guys had 8 on there anyway. Fuck, am I going to just make it 10? What the fuck?
Yeah.
But it's hard. And I just, guys, just so you know, these are going to be I want to make this distinction. These are our 10 favorite, not best, our favorite movies. Because I think there is a distinction when you're saying best movie of all time versus my favorite movie of all time. So just so people know, if Gone with the Wind is not mentioned, or whatever.
Yeah, so the criteria are your top 10 movies that you'll go to. If you're bored, you'll go throw one of these on, or
you'll
if it's
put it
on
on
TV,
just to watch it.
Yeah, I feel like you're preparing me that Beaches or Steel Magnolias is going to be on your list, Blaster. Is that what you're doing?
Well, I think I have some shockers, maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to educate the audience tonight on some of these movies.
You usually do.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, so should we roll into the Halloween ends tidbits?
Let's do it.
All right, so people are we've reached a fever pitch. People want to see that fucking poster and that fucking trailer. And apparently Jason Blum says that things are getting, what did he say? Let me read the tweet.
Harsh? Was it harsh?
He said, some of you fans are so harsh, it's very scary. I hear you all on the trailer, and I hear you all on Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't really know much about that. You guys familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's? It's like a video game adaptation.
Come on, man. Actually, I have no idea.
I know, yeah. So he said both projects are top of mind, and we're working on both. And then he replied to someone on that tweet and said that this stuff is dangerously close. So I'm guessing we're going to see that poster here either tomorrow, probably next week.
And I think that the rule of thumb that we've all been going with, that the trailer is going to drop with Nope, I think that's the most likely scenario. So, and that's June. I think that movie comes out the 22nd, and we're already on June 7th. So, literally in a week and a half, you're going to have the trailer. So,
yes, Ali is asking in the chat. Five Nights at Freddy is a movie that they've been working on it trying to get it off the ground for a couple of years now, and
Okay.
you know, I guess those toxic fans are tired of waiting. But anyway, kind of earlier this week, we got some clarification on the reshoots from Christopher Nelson. He was on a podcast with what's that guy's name?
Sean Clark.
Sean Clark. They
Sean
do
Clark. Yeah. Halloween guru and expert, I guess.
Yeah.
And he said he clarified that we thought the reshoots were going to be for 2 weeks. It turned out that wasn't as extensive as we thought. It's only 3 days. So Nick, 2 weeks versus 3 days, does that kind of put you at ease a little bit about the reshoots?
It does. I guess I'm just curious where the 2 weeks came from. Was it just some internet person that said that and everybody ran with it? I guess I just don't, and I don't know the answer to that. But if that is accurate, and I have no reason to believe that it's not, because this is Christopher Nelson, remember? If that's accurate, yeah, 3 day reshoot. Yes, I know it's June or it was happening in end of June.
Yeah.
I understand all that. 3 day reshoot, no worries at all. 3 day reshoot happened probably for movies that won Best Picture, so I'm not worried about it. At this time, I am extremely curious, and I'll be even more curious, once we see the movie and then we find out what the original thing that they reshot was, whether it's a certain storyline, whether it's the ending like Halloween 2018 or whatnot. But it also was a little curious why Christopher Nelson is the one that is mentioning this. Why someone else didn't come out and say, hey, no, relax, guys, it's only 3 days or 4 days or whatever the hell it is. So it brings up some other questions, but assuming he's right, it kind of calms a little bit of my nerves regarding that aspect.
Yeah, Keith A is in the chat. Welcome, Keith.
What's up, Keith?
He said they shot for 4 days, but they were there probably setting up for 2 weeks. So that's probably where the wires got crossed.
Okay.
So I guess it takes some time to set up your shots.
Well, and I think a big part of the problem is that not a problem. I actually think this is a good thing, but I think a big part of the problem for most fans who want is that we've got it nothing. Like literally, we have at this point. And all we've been doing on YouTube is speculating about our theories of what could be. And, a lot of this stuff, though, I know that Christopher Nelson, I think, said, or John Carpenter, somebody said this movie's going to be a departure from the first two. They've actually been, that's not new. They've been saying that David Gordon Green basically said that in the Total Film article that came out last year. Basically said that, that it's going to be a more self-contained. It's not going to be like Halloween Kills, where it was just Michael's movie and it was a bloodbath. It's not going to be like that. So I don't think they really broke any new news with that. I see people, kind of theorizing about what that could possibly mean, but.
Yeah, he also said that it was going to be weird. Christopher Nelson, in the same interview, said it's going to be weird and different. That was his description of Halloween is. How does that make you feel, Nick? Weird and different?
Different? Fine.
Yeah.
Because if he's talking different than the trilogy, the Blumhouse trilogy, that I think that's a good thing. Because, we've had 2 movies now of Blumhouse, doing what they do. So different is good. Weird is an interesting adjective to use. I'll say that. You combine him saying weird
I was just
with JLC's comments.
Yeah.
What the hell does that mean? Does that mean
weird,
it's going to end
with
with Michael going into space? I don't know.
Yeah.
That would be weird, right? Michael going to space would be weird.
Yeah.
Michael.
Also,
I don't know.
Yeah, Jake. Going back to the trailer, you said you're going to try to avoid any of the marketing at all costs, but he's kind of said in the same interview that they are they're going through painstaking lengths to keep everything as much as they can under wraps. And he also says that he's seen the trailer and it doesn't give away much. Does that kind of make you
It doesn't change my
watching?
opinion at all, because every trailer that Blumhouse has ever put out has given too much of their movies. and I'm assuming that it's a Blumhouse thing more than a Universal thing. But look, I'm just gonna try something different this year, man. I mean, look at I watched the trailer for 18. It ruined the movie for me. I watched the trailer for Kill. I did more than watch the trailer for Kills. I actually was stupid enough to read the script. That's my fault. That's not the trailer. But even the trailer for Kills gave away too much. And you know what? I said this year I don't need to see it. I like the fact that we know nothing. I want to go in to the movie and not seen the trailer. So I am not going to be watching or reacting on my channel to the Halloween Ends trailer. And that basically was because when I went and saw The Black Phone a week ago, I knew nothing about. I didn't even know Ethan Hawke was in the movie. I knew nothing about the plot, and I just went and saw it. And I felt that I actually liked it more from not seeing it. Because then after I saw The Black Phone, I watched the trailer, and I'm like, damn, they gave away a lot in the trailer. I'm glad I didn't see the trailer,
Yeah.
So that's what kind of set me on this path. But,
Nick, you're gonna watch the trailer, right? I'm watching it. I'm like,
I will be watching it. I will be dissecting it. I'm excited for it, but I do understand Blaster's points. I'm envious of him making that decision. I'm excited to see it though. Mostly just if it is going to be weird and different, they're not going to show the weird different stuff. I wouldn't think, but it'll be interesting to see what we can use the trailer for to come up with different theories and stuff like that. So that'll be intriguing to me.
Well, I just think if you go off of their past, if you just go off of the past two movies, just go off of Halloween Kills and Halloween 2018, especially Halloween 28. Well, Halloween Kills did the same thing, but Halloween 2018, that whole Vicky's death scene was ruined. Marion's death scene was ruined in Kills. And I get it. I understand it that they're trying to just. It's not again. I've heard people make this point, and it is a fair point. The trailers are not for Jake Blaster, Nick Pusch, and Bud. We're going to go see that movie whether they show us a trailer or whether they show us nothing. The trailer is for the average fan to get them in the door and to go see the movie. So that's what those trailers are for, and that's why they figure, and they're right, because Halloween 2018 made a shit ton of money, and Halloween Kills, even though in the middle of COVID, made 140 million. So it made a lot of money. Yeah. And so their framework works. So they're not going to change it, I don't think.
Yeah, why would they?
No, they don't have to. So
I just want to reiterate, when John Carpenter says departure, he means a departure from 2018 and Halloween Kills. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, a departure from those two movies could be more like the OG.
The problem is that we're hanging on every fucking thing that we can get our hands on with this movie, and that's why anytime anybody says anything, JLC farted on set, we're all making YouTube videos about it, going, "Oh my God, no."
This is how it was back in the old days. In the old days, before YouTube, before the internet, you read about it in Fangoria that a new Halloween sequel is coming out, and then all of a sudden you forget about it.
You saw it on Entertainment Tonight.
Yeah, right.
And then you went and saw Halloween 6.
Yes, 3 months later, all of a sudden you see a trailer pop up, and it's like, oh shit, that's right.
Yeah.
And then you see the movie. You don't know anything about it. That's why Halloween 3 fucking failed.
That's true. It's
yeah,
true.
I remember finding out that they were making Halloween 6 on when you rent a movie that showed like the 5 trailers or whatever in front of the movie, and they showed the trailer for Halloween 666.
666,
the origin of Michael Myers or some shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that turned out to be a lie. So
I just want to say to everybody in the chat, we're going to get to you guys in the chat as far as when we get into our top 10 movies, and we want you guys to play along with us. Like, we want you, when we give our number 10 in the chat, you give your number 10, because maybe your movies are different. We're going to read some, we'll read them on your comments on here, obviously, but so work on your lists right now, and I've been working on this list for 3 days. It's been a pain.
You're stressing out. You're stressing out about this, man.
Do you know the movie? You know what the movies I left off this list? I want to cry.
Yeah, I've changed several today. So
there's one more piece of news, though. I think we covered the Halloween End stuff, but
no, wait a minute. I have one more tidbit for Halloween.
Okay,
and this is quick.
Okay, go ahead.
This is quick. the novelization for Halloween Ends.
Oh, yeah, good point.
You can pre-order that starting today. If you
And I
go
think it's
on
coming
Amazon,
out the 18th, right? They said
yeah,
the 18th.
it'll come out like I think
18th of
the
what?
Tuesday after the
October.
Oh,
October.
it's my birthday.
If you go on there, they have like a fake cover.
Is that your
It says-
birthday, dude?
Yeah, you know that.
It
Wait,
says
the 18th
subject.
is your birthday?
Yeah, we're close.
October?
Remember?
That was my dad's birthday.
Yeah, you told me
Wow.
that before. Yeah.
I did? We did. We had this conversation?
Yeah, we had this conversation. I think we were drunk, but either way, that's off-air conversation.
Keith A, are you gonna or ask? Are you Nick? Are you gonna have a trailer breakdown of it? Of course he is.
I sure am, my friend. How you doing, Keith?
Probably within minutes of it coming out.
Seconds. Blum's
Okay.
actually is gonna send me the trailer first, and then I'm gonna break
Maybe.
it down, and then.
I just want to break the suspense that I know James Morant's number 10 is going to be Halloween H2O, so I just want to break that suspense right now.
All right, Jake, you had some news that you wanted to bring up.
Well, I just wanted to bring up the in the same podcast, The Thing with Two Heads, Sean Clark also brings up that he spoke with Nev Campbell and asked her about the rumors that she secretly was going to be in Scream 6. And she said that the rumors are not true, that Nev Campbell, she says at this point, is not going to be in Scream 6. So I know that we've been addressing that on a couple of live streams prior to this, but that news was broken by Sean Clark on that same podcast, The Thing with Two Heads, which is a good podcast. So
It is.
people should go listen
Do
to
you
it.
think that is her playing some type of meta game?
Could be, yeah.
I mean, if it is, it's genius.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: say they do like a post credits fucking scene, so they go that.
Yeah.
Does that count? Will
As
she
being
have
the
been a
movie?
liar?
Would that
Yeah.
count? I think it's like what Obi-Wan says, from a certain point of view.
I think
No,
it half
and from a
counts.
certain point of view, not. So she's not lying, but she's
Right.
you don't. So I think it's a loophole.
Yeah, James says. James Morant. Jake says. Jaws
I
of
know.
Revenge is.
I
your
just
favorite
saw it. It's on there,
I can't-
buddy. Don't worry, I'll get to it. We're gonna get to it. I'm just kidding. It's not on there.
All right, Dick, you want to call out some of our viewers in the chat, or just run through the names?
You better
or-
watch out. We got Blake in the chat. You better
Yeah,
watch out.
I was gonna say Blake's in here. I thought I blocked him.
Keith A.
Keith, how you doing, buddy? We got James Morant as usual. How you doing,
Yeah.
James? Entertainment Wizard, who's
Entertainment Wizards in there. Yeah.
dominating our trivia games, huh?
Big
Chris
Halloween
Cole,
H2O
how you
guy.
doing? Well, Chris Cole has a good question here. Let's touch on this.
Okay.
Who do you guys think is the main villain now, since it's not Michael? So he's referring to another comment that was made, I believe, that said Michael isn't the only villain or isn't the main villain in part of the story. Any comment on that, Bud, on what you might think that
Yeah.
might mean?
Does anybody have Taking Shape 2?
I do.
If
Right-
you
right behind me,
do,
somewhere.
go look at the Halloween 4 section, and there's a script idea they had where the boogeyman is kind of the spirit of the boogeyman is kind of the. It's not really about Michael Myers. It's about the boogeyman.
Okay.
We're like I think in that script he grew to like 16 feet tall. I hope they're not borrowing from that one.
So you're thinking that could mean that
Like-
you know
like-
they're talking
like-
about
like
the spirit that is quote unquote
Like
for lack of a
whatever
better
is
term, possessing
infected.
Michael. Yeah.
Whatever possessed that little 6-year-old child.
Yeah.
I
That-
just don't
I
want them to
think
get
that
too
might
cute
be
with
it.
this.
Yeah.
I don't want them to get too cute with this. Look, Michael Myers is Halloween, and so I think they need to keep that in mind before they pull a Halloween 3 on us or some stupid, try to get artsy fartsy with it. That's just my take on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. I guess
Oh,
we'll see
we-
what happens.
We're seeing some movies come in.
Yep, James Morant's putting his top 5 in there. All right, buddy, we see you. So we
Sweet.
got any other news, guys, or
I got some news.
Oh boy.
serious news?
According to Mira Sorvino, they're bringing back Romeo and Michelle.
Again? Didn't they already bring it back?
No, they're bringing it back.
I thought they already brought it back.
They're bringing them back.
Why?
Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. One of
Why?
my.
Another
Didn't make
thing that
my
nobody's
list, but
asking for?
no, I'm asking for it.
Wow. I think
I
you're the
love
only
that
person.
No, it's a fucking funny, great movie.
I mean, it's okay. We'll say that.
And they released the Clerks 3 trailer, in which
Yes.
I don't know.
Blake is asking if Michael Myers is Republican. Um, well, Blake, let me address that as succinctly as I can. He's an independent. Okay.
There you go.
Blake, he's an equal opportunity.
Yeah. He is Ross Perot. If anyone listening is not old enough to know who Ross Perot is, then he is.
Can I finish?
Who's an independent these days?
There's no independent like that. Not like Ross Perot.
Not like Ross, no. So should we get in? Should we get right into it?
Well, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, guys. So everybody in the chat right now, start putting your number 10 movie, number 10 for you. Start putting your comments in. But let's go, because I'm very curious to Bud for his number 10 favorite movie of all time. It is
Bad News Bears, 1976.
Ooh.
fantastic movie.
Yeah.
So you're not talking about it was remade with Billy Bob Thornton, right? Not that one.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
No,
We're
that's
talking
a
about
disgrace.
the original
Yeah.
What do you like
great
about it?
movie with Walter
with
Matthau.
Walter Matthau, Jackie Earl Haley.
Tatum O'Neal's in that, right?
Grew up to
Jackie
play
Earl
Freddy
Haley's in
Krueger.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a kid,
Fucking
right?
Kelly Leak.
Yeah. Jackie O'Hale, yeah.
He grew to 5'3" tall and played Freddy Krueger in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. And it has Tatum O'Neal. Fucking great movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
All right, we're gonna read
That's
your
my
guys.
number 10.
We're gonna read your number 10s in the chat after we give our number 10s. Nick Pusch, number 10.
My number 10. Let me go to my list here. My number 10 is Point Break.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
love
great movie.
Johnny Utah.
Johnny Utah.
Well,
What a name. What a name. And
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. God, I love Swayze. It just, if you think about the plot of this movie, it's surfers wearing masks of presidents,
Yeah.
robbing banks, and the FBI, and a young FBI agent is after them. Gary Busey, also as well.
Did anybody have a
sounds
better
ridiculous.
4 or 5 year run than Swayze?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tough.
No, they had Red Dawn,
Red Dawn.
Swayze's amazing. Dude.
Roadhouse.
I know, but I'm saying
Dirty
yeah.
Dancing, Roadhouse,
Yeah.
Ghost.
He had Ghost, and he had
yeah.
Point Break.
Yeah.
Swayze had a
Great
good
run.
run.
Yeah,
He
rest in
definitely did.
peace. But yeah, Point Break, number 10 for me. Obviously, I think as we get closer to our, top few, we'll have a little bit more to say. But
Yeah.
Point Break.
No, it's a
if
great
you haven't
movie.
seen Point Break, go fucking watch it. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous, but it's awesome ridiculous.
Catherine Bigelow directed it. Great
Yes,
movie.
correct.
Jake, what's your number 10?
Okay, so this is not. I want to say that I put this movie on the list, and ironically, sadly, the news broke today of the passing of James Caan,
Elf?
and the movie is The Godfather from 1972. I grew up. I'm Italian. I grew up in an Italian family. My father absolutely loved The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2, and I had to watch this movie, and I grew to appreciate it as a just a great mob movie. And it was really the first mob movie that really took a look at the inner workings of the Italian crime families. And James Caan's great in that movie. Sonny Corleone. Al Pacino's great in The Godfather, and I don't need to go through how Marlon Brando, it won Best Picture. It's a great movie, The Godfather from 1970.
So does that mean that Part 2 is that going to be in your top 10?
I actually will say this. I will say this. No, it isn't. The Godfather. I am one of the people who believe that the original Godfather is the best one. I think Godfather 2 is great, but the original Godfather, is the best one for me.
Okay.
And it's ironic that I put this movie on, and then all of a sudden my brother texts me today. He's like, "Oh, who texted me? You, Bud? You text me? It was my brother."
Bud.
Yeah, James Caan died. I'm like, "Oh my God, unbelievable."
Yeah.
But let's go back to the chat. I want to read some of these. So some people were putting their number 10s in. We've got Paxton Scoggins says Avatar.
Aviator.
Oh, the Aviator.
That's what Leonardo we played Howard.
Okay,
Yeah.
Allie says Wizard of Oz. Great movie.
Oh yeah.
Keith says The Departed. We just talked
We
about
just
it.
talked about that before we
Just
went on
talking about
air. That's so good.
And let's see. Kel says Dances with Wolves. That's a great movie.
Dances
Kel.
with Wolves.
You
That's a
missed James Moran had Superbad.
Oh, super
Yeah.
bad, James. I'm sorry, buddy. I did miss that. Yeah.
Entertainment Wizard.
Entertainment Wizard says Top Gun Maverick. Stay
Yeah.
tuned, buddy.
Ooh.
Tommy Quinn, Goodfellas. Yeah, we were just talking about that, Tommy. We were talking about Goodfellas before. Another, Goodfellas, and Bud has one on the list here, I think, that he was telling us.
So you want to go to me and number 9, or you want to like reverse it and
Snake.
Yeah, we can do that. So what did I go last? So I'll go first.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 9, and to pick up on Entertainment Wizard, my number 9 is Top Gun Maverick.
Ooh.
I will say this. This movie, when I went and saw it, I don't know what I expected. I expected it to be good. I didn't expect it to come near the original Top Gun. And this movie fucking blew me away. This is how you take an older property and make a sequel. This is how you add to a story. This is like what, you guys have always, we just did the Bud and Blaster where I said Jaws 3 doesn't feel like a Jaws movie. This movie tethers itself so well without beating you over the head. It tethers itself to Top Gun so well, and it adds something. It adds an element to the story that I was blown away by this movie. I think this movie is going to go down in the next 10 years. We're going to look back and say Top Gun Maverick is possibly the best sequel ever made.
Well, if we're all still here.
That's true. But I think
stop
that
for a second. You said the best sequel ever made.
Ever made.
Oh.
That's my opinion. I was blown away. I've seen it twice in the movie theater. I cannot wait to watch this movie again. It's a movie that I probably will own. And definitely a movie that like we were saying before, these are our list of our favorite and ones that we'll watch over and over again. This movie's definitely one that has so much rewatchability. I was blown away by Top Gun Maverick. I think it's slightly better, better than the original Top Gun.
Nick, what is your number 9?
My number 9, I'm going comedy. I am going with Dumb and Dumber.
Ooh.
Speaking of rewatchability, like Blaster was saying, I mean, this movie is
argue
endlessly rewatchable for me. Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels are just superb together. It's unreal, and the plot once again is so dumb, so simple, so dumb. They're traveling across the country to return a briefcase, and they're morons. I mean, talk about just quotes that you can just quote. And there's so many little underrated things like Jim Carrey. I always think of him seeing the article from a paper from the 50s and just goes, "No way! We landed on the moon!"
Or they're seeing where their hands are freezing and he's like pulling the gloves off.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Might are getting a little toasty.
Harry, your hands are freezing. I mean, so many great.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Endless. I think you said.
Yeah, so it's a classic. It's my favorite comedy of all time. So it's at number 9.
Yep.
Bud, what do you got?
My number 9 is Pump Up the Volume from 1991, starring Christian Slater. Happy Hard Harry.
I've never heard of it.
Well, maybe want to be a YouTuber, that movie, so I could speak my mind.
Pump Up the Volume. Good movie.
Does anybody remember that?
I do remember Bump Up the Volume. I remember.
Fucking Nick, you've never seen it, right?
No, never heard of it.
Do
Put
yourself
that one on your list,
favor,
buddy.
go watch it. Yeah.
Put that one on your
It's
list.
like it's ode to Gen X, man. As
Okay.
crazy as we are. All right, so you want to go to the number 9s in the chat?
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, I'm going to put James Morant in a timeout because he said Godfather 3 is the best one. James, that's gonna earn you a timeout, my friend. I'm sorry. Keith A says Casino, great
Good
fucking movie.
Mhm.
Black Hawk Down, Paxton Scoggins, good movie.
Yeah.
Good one. James says Back to the Future, number 9.
I'm sure that'll be talked
Kels, Now and Then. Is that the one with Demi Moore?
No,
that's Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman.
And it's
Now and Then?
No,
No,
it's
Now
not.
and Then.
No, it's Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a coming of
I
age.
could
It's like
swear.
a coming of age story.
Now and
It's
Then.
not bad.
Yeah. Tommy Quinn says Titanic, number 9. Good one. Keith A says Elvis was a good movie, the new one that just came out.
Yeah, I gotta see
Agree?
it.
I've
Agree? It
not
was pretty
seen
good. It was pretty good. Entertainment Wizard says Deep Blue Sea. Well, you and Josh, the horror guy, my friend, Josh, the horror guy, loves Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue
Thinks
Sea
it's
is
better
good.
than Jaws.
Deep Blue Sea is good. I love Thomas Jane. Oh,
Yes,
Such a
it's a
good
good movie. And then Allie says number 9, Jaws.
Jaws.
Wow.
That
What
might
the
be
fuck
mentioned.
was I thinking?
Not, well, hey, these are your favorites, man.
I
This
say
is what
that
we're
a
talking
lot,
about.
but
Okay, so I'm gonna start off number 8, right?
Yeah.
correct.
So I saw someone had Keith A. My number 8 is Casino.
Yeah.
That is like that's my fucking love that movie. My favorite Scorsese movie. I quote it often. If you guys listen closely, me and Jake.
You and I quoted. Well, I was
Yeah,
gonna say, you
we
and I
quote
quoted
it
often.
quote off quite often on
Yeah.
on these streams too.
Yep.
So, Casino is my number 8.
Good movie.
Good movie.
Very good movie. Yeah. Pesci's, Pesci makes, and somebody brought up Goodfellas, I think, as their number 10. But Pesci, man, he makes those movies. I'm sorry, it's not De Niro. De Niro's good in those movies, but Pesci is just on another level.
Yeah.
Okay, who's up?
That's me.
Next,
I'm in the
or-
middle.
Go ahead.
My number 8 is The Fugitive.
Oh,
Ooh.
man, that's a good movie. Damn
Yeah,
it.
I'm a huge Harrison Ford fan, and this is, spending the whole movie basically following his character.
Get
This
off
is a
my
good movie.
plane.
Yeah.
No,
That's Air Force One.
One.
This is
I
wasn't
know,
me, it
I'm
was
just
one of them.
fucking-
Yeah. That's another
I'm
good
just
movie.
fucking
We're about
around.
to kill you.
But yeah, The Fugitive. Me and my friends would quote this in college all the time. I'm not that old. We didn't go to college in the early '90s, but it's just it's just such a great movie for me. Just because I love Harrison Ford, and Tommy Lee Jones is great in this.
Yep.
Chicago. I'm a Midwest guy, so the setting of Chicago.
Who's got an L? We got an L. St. Louis got an L.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a great movie.
Did you guys like
Go
the
ahead.
sequel to that? U.S. Marshals.
Love
Did
it.
you like the
Love it.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I didn't think
Yeah.
it was good as a fugitive, but
Yeah,
I
I
thought
thought it
Robert
was
Downey
good.
Jr. was the villain, right?
Yes, that was kind of his, he came back after the drugs, and you don't recognize him now because he's clean shaven.
Yeah.
But it's a good movie. But yeah, The Fugitive for me, it's number 8.
Oh, that's classic, yeah.
Jake, number
Okay.
number 8.
So number 8 is a movie that I have an emotional connection to. It was my mother. I lost my mother when I was very young, 13, and this was her favorite movie. I grew to really like it, and I felt like I had to put it on the list for her, but I think she just had a thing for Swayze. I don't think that's what it is, but it's gonna be Dirty
No.
Dancing.
It was you.
No.
You had to
it's-
think.
Swayze's awesome,
Who
man. I
doesn't,
just said
man?
that before Swayze's
She
the
only
man.
supported you because you liked Swayze.
But this movie is, it's really, I don't know. It's a good movie. It's a good story. Talk about a coming of age movie. It certainly is that. It's got a great soundtrack, and it's got a happy ending. Touches on some really tough issues, but it's a good movie. I mean, Dirty
And-
Dancing's a classic.
And strangely enough, they're making a sequel to that with Jennifer Grey.
Yeah, I
It's
saw that.
set in the
I
90s.
didn't hear that.
Yep,
Really?
Yep,
Yep.
it's
Wow.
coming.
Wow, interesting.
It's probably going to piss you off, but
Well, if she's
Look.
involved, then it's
I read
gotta-
something about 90s hip hop, Jake.
I
At
like
Kellerman.
90s. I like 90s hip hop, or I like it. I can
The
get
movie,
into
the
it.
movie. So a sequel won't work without Max Kellerman. I'm just throwing it out.
Max Kellerman's dead.
I know.
All right, let's go to everybody else. What do we got
Yeah, we're
here?
in the chat here. So we got-
Keith A says Heathers. Yeah,
Ooh,
that's a good one.
movie. That is a good
Mhm.
movie.
Paxton the Patriot.
Mm.
Oh, Kels, my
Yeah,
God.
my
Kels,
yes.
Kels,
shit.
I was very close. This movie, Stand By Me. I mean, my God, well, that's oh my God.
So
that's a
Kels
phenomenal
has
movie.
Now and then Stand By Me. She must love the coming of age stories.
She
well,
does.
that's a great movie, though, Kels.
Yeah,
I
Stand By
want
Me
to say
good.
that. Entertainment Wizard says It Chapter 1. Tommy Quinn says Fight Club. Good movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Allie says Top Gun Maverick for her there. So yeah.
Alright.
So
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
Number
let's-
7.
7. That's you, Blaster, again.
Oh man. Okay. I don't know how many people in the chat are gonna know this movie. I know that Bud knows it, and I know that Nick has never seen it. But this movie is a movie that my brothers and I will quote endlessly. Again, when I grew up as a kid, this movie was on HBO like endlessly, and we watched it constantly. And it is The Best of Times.
Oh shit.
With Kurt Russell and Robin Williams. And just quickly, the plot is basically Robin Williams, wants a do-over in life. It's a football movie about a guy that they're kind of 10, 15 years removed from their high school days, and Robin Williams dropped a wide open pass in high school that would have won the game, this great rivalry, and he wants to replay 10 or 15 years later, wants to replay the game, and he's got to get Kurt Russell involved. Kurt Russell was the quarterback, and obviously it's a play on, the Rockets are supposed to be the Jets. The uniforms kind of look like Kurt Russell is kind of like a Joe Willie Namath. He wears the white shoes, and it's a very fun football movie. This is kind of Kurt Russell before, Kurt Russell of Breakdown, and even before Big Trouble in Little China. I think maybe no. Big Trouble in Little China came out the same year. But anyway, it's Robin Williams before Mrs. Doubtfire. This is kind of a subdued Robin Williams. But if you like football movies, if you like 80s movies, definitely this is one to watch. But one that me and my family, my brothers, definitely. So I had to put this one.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, number 7.
All right, so from a movie that a lot of people might not know to a movie that everybody should know, and this is arguably one of the best sequels of all time. This is The Empire Strikes Back. I don't want to say I'm like the hugest Star Wars nerd or anything like that, but I do love Star Wars. For me, it doesn't get any better than Empire. What I love about this movie is the good guys get their asses fucking destroyed. And I hadn't seen that in a movie before. It's always, it was the same formula, at least when I was growing up, same formula, good guys start out, they don't know what they're doing, they have a conflict, but then, they learn something and they beat the bad guys. Well, in this movie, you got Han is frozen in carbonite, Luke, gets his hand cut off and finds out, his biggest enemy is his fucking father, and Obi-Wan lied to him, and, they just got their asses handed to them. And it was absolutely glorious, and this is just such a good Vader movie. Vader's, if not the top villain in cinema history, he's definitely in the top 3 or 5. So for me, Empire is the best Star Wars movie, and it had to crack my list because I'm a Star Wars guy. So
yeah, I think prior to 2015, I would have had Empire in my top 10.
Yeah,
but Disney getting their hooks in the Star Wars just. Man, I kind of cooled on the Star Wars.
Yeah, that's understandable. I hear you. Disney's made a lot of decisions that baffle me and frustrate me. I hear you. What do you got for number 7, bud?
My number 7 is The Graduate from 1968.
Oh, man.
With Dustin Hoffman.
And Bancroft, right?
And Bancroft and I can't remember who played Mrs. Robinson's daughter. Fuck, man, I forget her name. But yeah, that's just a nice little.
It's a classic.
Nice little escape.
Yeah,
it's a classic. Yeah,
yep, it is a classic.
I don't know if it won any Oscars or anything.
I think Hoffman might have won.
Yeah, it won something.
It also has a fucking like historically classic fucking soundtrack.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, yeah. It's
with, Simon and Garfunkel.
Simon and Garfunkel, yeah.
That's kind of
that's a good movie, bud, man. I forgot about that.
One of those guilty pleasure. No, it's not really a guilty pleasure, but it's something you can escape to, man.
That's a good call.
That's my number 7.
All right, bud. Why don't you go to the chat and read some of these? Give somebody else a chance to read the chats.
All right, let's go to some number 7s here. Keith A with the fucking curveball in the night. I think The Stepfather.
Ooh, I love The Stepfather.
Oh, original one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have never expected
that.
Yeah. We never would have expected that in a top 10.
No.
Paxton Scoggins has Ford versus Ferrari. I think.
I still haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that one either. That's
good.
recent, right?
Yeah, it's recent.
I believe that's Christian Bale, isn't that?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
James Morant, number 7, Predator.
Ooh.
Good movie, James. Yeah, good movie.
Entertainment Wizard with, I think, a movie that I think both of you expected to be on my top 10, but is not.
Yeah.
Scream from 1996.
Can't argue.
Can't
Tommy
argue with it.
Quinn. Wow. Halloween 1978.
It's all good, my man. You know?
Yeah, they're great.
Kells with a movie that I think is
This is so close to my list.
like so overdue for a sequel. Twister.
Twister's so good.
Kels is coming up with some
Yeah.
some
Great
good
movie.
movies.
I
here.
love Twister. Oh,
Yes.
Alley,
Stellar.
Jurassic World.
Jurassic World, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And that looks like all of our.
Yeah, and then let's
Top
see.
seven.
Joel says in the chat, he says the Empire in the theaters blew his 10-year-old mind.
Oh, I bet you saw it in the theater, Joe. Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I remember seeing Return of the Jedi in the theater, and I remember they oversold the theater, and I had to sit on the fucking floor. But I
Scott
still
Stevens
loved
says,
it.
"Hey everybody, what's up, Scott?"
What's up, Scott?
Yeah, man. So
So that was
all right,
seven,
we were
right?
at 7, right? We're going to 6 now. So Bud, I think you're starting with 6, right?
No,
Yep.
You just ended.
Yep.
I did. Okay, well, my
Yep.
number 6 is the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Wow.
I
Fascinating.
go. There's a local theater here where I live that they show it every year, and I go.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, they show a double feature of Clue and the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I
So
love
like
Clue.
Tim Curry double feature.
Yeah, and you can go and do the whole audience participation thing.
I absolutely love.
It's a
cool.
blast, and that's why I put it on in my top 10. But
Fair enough.
not everybody loves it, but I mean it's fun.
You love it,
It's got
and
a
that's the
cult
point of
following,
the
that's
list.
for sure. Yep.
I mean, that's the point of the list, and that's what we're saying, guys, in the chat. These are movies that you love. You know, they're not necessarily the best movies of all time. They're movies you love, like we love these movies. So, all right, Nick, what do you got for 6?
6, I got Jurassic Park, the original.
The original.
Obviously. Yep.
Wow.
I like dinosaurs, like most young boys did back in the 90s. And Spielberg, man,
Yeah.
what I love about this movie and what bothers me about the new, I haven't seen the new one, by the way, if anyone's going to ask that. But what bothers me is, and I know it's a sign of the times, but it's just dinosaurs everywhere. Not even talking about the CGI, but just dinosaurs everywhere. What Spielberg did was he had this fucking amazing T-Rex. He had it in his bag, and he waited to show it. Instead of showing us the T-Rex, he shows the fucking water in a cup.
And it was something we hadn't seen before to that point.
No, this is actually is why George Lucas saw what Spielberg did, and he's like, now I can make the prequels.
Yeah.
So Jurassic Park, like you said,
my
it's
God.
something we hadn't seen before. Spielberg, I still want Spielberg to just direct like a straight horror movie. I know Poltergeist, I know the controversy, but Spielberg he's a goddamn genius with shit like this. Look at all the creature features he's done. I'm sure we'll get into another one or two shortly, but yeah, Jurassic Park. It's a great movie. It's not just about the dinosaurs. There's things with the humans that you care about. Like Sam Neill's character, hating kids and then having to protect the kids and realizing he doesn't hate. There's so many different nuances.
And you got Newman.
Like that.
You got Newman.
Yes, and Newman, is. He's the bad guy.
It's the Newmanium.
Yeah. Yes. Dotson. We got Dotson here. See, nobody cares. But yeah. So Jurassic Park. Love that movie. It's my whatever number we're on. Number 6.
Good movie. 6. All right.
Yeah.
How about you, Blaster? You're up, right?
My number 6 is going to be the Karate Kid, and had to put it on here. It's a movie that I literally watched every single day after school as a kid. There was a period for about like 6 months where I would watch it every single day. I don't know. I just really gravitated towards the story of the Karate Kid, and it's another movie with a great soundtrack, great 80s movie, and you got William Zabka plays a great bad guy in the movie. I know some people are going to say he's the good guy in Cobra Kai. The show has turned it around on us, and I love Cobra Kai. Everybody's going to ask in the chat, do you love Cobra Kai? I love it. I love Cobra Kai. I think Cobra Kai is the Top Gun Maverick type of thing. They've done it just as well. They've actually they've done it very well. I can't say anything bad about it. But the original Karate Kid had to be on my list. There's just no way.
Let me ask you this, Buster.
Yeah.
Since that's such an important movie to you, do you know karate?
So I
he
did
doesn't.
not. No, I did not take karate, but I will tell you this: my brother Jimmy, he took karate because of this movie, and back in 1986, karate dojos were flooded with people taking karate after this movie came out. So I was not one that took karate.
Dude,
no.
I want to start taking it so bad, but I feel like I'm
Jake,
too
let
old.
me ask you: have you ever tried to catch a fly with fucking chopsticks?
I have, and it's fucking damn near impossible. Okay, it's
All right,
absolutely impossible.
Let's go to the number 6s in the chat. James Morant with Ghostbusters.
Good one, James. Yep.
Keith A. Urban Cowboy.
Urban Cowboy.
Interesting.
Paxton Scoggins, The Departed has come back around.
Yeah, Departed's been on there twice. Yeah.
Allie, Christmas Vacation. We talked about
I love Christmas.
this one yesterday.
Vacation's good.
Well, I brought up a question. Which do you think is better, Vacation or European Vacation?
And then I said Christmas Vacation's the best of them all.
Yeah, but I picked European Vacation. But I mean,
Yeah.
Really?
all right. Yeah, Tommy Quinn, Shawshank Redemption.
We just talked
Tell
about
us,
that.
man. Silver Bullet.
I love Silver
wow.
Bullet.
If you go over to the Halloween verse and scroll back to late last year.
Yeah, you did a watch party on it, didn't you?
Me,
Yeah.
we did a watch party with Travis and Gary,
That's a
and it
good
was the
movie.
first time I'd ever seen Silver Bullet. So
Yeah, Silver Bullet's a
if
good
you
movie.
want to put it on and watch along with our video, you can go do that. But
Yep.
he also with probably the most diverse list, I would say, of the night.
Scott Stevens says, did you read his? He said, Leaving Las Vegas. Is that,
Ooh,
I've not
love that
gotten-
movie.
oh, you
Did
haven't
I
gotten
miss
that
it?
far. Okay, no,
I haven't
you haven't
gotten
gotten
that
that far. I'm sorry. Well,
The Entertainment Wizard, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I think
Good movie. Good movie.
Nick, you're a big fan of that one.
Oh, sure am.
Scott Stevens, Leaving Las Vegas. Elizabeth Shue should have won an Oscar.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah.
I have not seen it. And then
Blake, I know that
Yes.
Nick is too. I will tell you this. I absolutely love the first
The 1990 Ninja.
The
and
91?
and Secret of the Ooze, yep.
and Secret of the Use.
Let me tell you.
After
let me
that,
tell you something. yeah.
downhill.
The 1990 version, the original is unbelievably good. It's
Oh, yeah.
unbelievably good. It's
Oh,
deep.
yeah.
Splinters. I'm gonna make a video on it.
See, I loved the cartoon. I grew up watching
Yeah.
the cartoon, and I loved the cartoon. And then we had the Nintendo video games that came out before, and then you had the movie, which came out in 1990. But yeah, love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
Man.
all right, you guys can do a video on that when I can't make it. But I don't really care for it. But that's just me.
What?
I don't like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
James,
Have you ever seen the 1990 version?
Yeah, I've seen it, and it sucks ass.
No, it
James
does not.
knows that neither
Yes.
one of those movies are going to be on my list.
What movies?
Jaws: The Revenge or Halloween H2O. Okay.
Okay, where are we at? Where are we at?
We're reading. I'm just reading through the chat here.
Yeah.
Blake says great Jake, great pick on best of, dude, Best of Times, man. It's
It
underrated.
is a good
if,
one.
If anybody has not seen it and you like Kurt Russell, Robin Williams, go watch it. You will
Yeah,
not.
it's a good one for sure.
Yep. And James says The Dark Knight for that was number 5. Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So, who's up for number 5?
I think it's you, man.
Yeah,
Me?
you just did
Really?
Karate Kid, number
Yeah.
6.
Okay, so again, my mother took me to see some movies in the movie theater that maybe I was too young. I mean, I saw Aliens in the movie theater, and I saw this movie in the movie theater. And this movie came out in a time period where we were 5 years removed from Miracle on Ice. We were in the middle of a Cold War with Russia. Tensions were high.
Oh,
Rocky 4 is my favorite Rocky. It is. I will watch this movie. There are so many great scenes. I still get goosebumps when he picks him up and he throws the Russian to the mat and the guy goes, and Balboa picks up the Russian and throws him to the ground. It's no holds barred in Moscow. And I'm going to tell you something. Best movie theater experience. I mean, I was like 6 years old, but I remember people cheering and standing up like it was a real fight. I mean, it was unbelievable. Rocky 4. I mean, again, look, Rocky from 1976 is a better movie. Rocky 4 is my favorite Rocky movie, and it is my number 5. It is a great soundtrack. One of the best, if not the best. So
Cool.
that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I
Rocky
can't,
Four.
I can't argue
Nick,
with that.
what's your number 5, Nick?
My number 5 is going to be Forrest Gump.
Yep.
I love this movie. It's something where, back in the day, much like some people are mentioning, like Shawshank and movies like that, back in the day when it was on like TNT or USA, you're flipping through the channels and I see Forrest Gump, I'm set. I don't care what point of the movie it is, I'm set. I love, just the story of, kind of, for lack of a better term, a kind of slow, dim-witted man who, who just kind of makes his mark on history. I love that they put him in all these historical moments. He's in the Vietnam War. He's, not winning a high
Shaking
trophy,
hands with JFK.
Yeah, shaking hands. He meets 3 presidents. He's a ping pong champion.
I believe he said he had to go pee.
Yes. He accomplishes all this, but all he wants is Jenny. That's all he wants is this.
I was running.
This whore to love him. But I said this to you guys before we went on air. My favorite part of Forrest Gump is that if you watch it this way, he saves Lieutenant Dan's life, right? He saves his life, And Lieutenant Dan was pissed about it. He's pissed about it. He didn't want to live. But then he ended up saving Lieutenant Dan's soul after he saved his life. And I thought that was even more fascinating to watch because Lieutenant Dan hated himself. He's drinking himself into oblivion. Meets Forrest Gump outside the studio. And, him and Forrest Gump then are, hanging out for a while. Then they're, catching shrimp. And he saves his soul. And, I just love that. So
and it's
that's
Hanks,
Yeah,
it's Hanks.
And it's Hanks. You
you can't
go wrong with that, So Forrest Gump, 94. I think it's 94.
Yep.
Number
I think
5
so.
for me.
You
All right, so
ready
let's
for
go to
my
the-
number 5?
Oh,
Yep.
did you give your number 5?
No, I have not. I'm about to do
Okay,
it.
sorry,
Keith
buddy.
A. and I are kindred spirits.
Okay, what do you got?
Earlier, we had Casino, and now my number 5 is Urban Cowboy.
Wow, bud. I did not expect that from you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Urban Cowboy. It's the
Is that Travolta?
first movie me and my wife
Yeah,
ever
Deborah
watched
Winger.
together.
Yeah.
But I was a fan of it long before I ever met her.
Okay.
But that's just like he said, it was a guilty pleasure. It is a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's good to throw on once or twice a year. But Urban Cowboy is my number 5.
It's a good movie.
So
There you go.
you want to go to the
Yeah, let's go to the
go
let
chat.
Jay go to
So,
the chat.
so James says The Dark Knight, number 5 for James.
Good movie.
Keith A. Unbreakable.
Ooh, I still haven't seen it.
And Entertainment Wizard says Ready Player One
I like that.
for number 5.
It's a good movie.
Paxton Scoggins, The Godfather. I brought that up earlier. Godfather's fantastic. Kels says Shawshank Redemption. Kels has a dynamite list.
I think somebody brought that one up earlier.
Yeah, that was already brought
Can't
up.
go wrong.
Allie says Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Good one.
Yeah.
James says Rocky IV is the best training montage. I completely agree. Did I miss
Wait,
one?
Scott Stevens. Yeah.
Oh, Scott. Yeah, I'm sorry. What is it? Wait until dark.
Wait until dark. Audrey
Okay,
Hepburn.
yeah. Okay. Departed's been mentioned a few times here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Keith A says best Rocky for sure. Yeah, I love it. Allie says good pick. Nick. Deborah Winger. Yep, she was in there. So Keith A says he loves it, bud. He loves it. Yeah.
All right. We ready to go into number 4s?
Yeah, let's do it.
My number 4 movie of all time is Jerry motherfucking Maguire.
Yes, dude. Great fucking
That's
movie.
your number 4?
That is my number 4. That is my football movie.
Good
Best
call.
football movie ever.
Wow, we were trying to
made.
guess that
Yeah.
last night when you said football movie. We could not come up with
Nobody
That's
touched
quotable, my friend. That is quotable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a quotable movie. It's a great movie, and it has the fucking Bruce Springsteen song, "Secret Garden," which
Secret
every
Garden.
Yes.
every girl that hears it thinks that fucking song's about her. That's how good that movie.
You got Cruz, you got Renee Zellweger,
Yeah,
Cuba.
Cuba
yeah.
Gooding Jr., who won an Oscar.
Yeah.
So Jerry Maguire is a really nice little romance.
Okay.
Yeah, Jerry Maguire.
So that's
Interesting.
me. Number
It's
4
up to
for
you,
me.
Pusch. Number 4, buddy.
Number 4 for me is Jaws, the OG. I don't know what I can say about Jaws. It hasn't already been said. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. First summer blockbuster. I know the three of us have. I think we've all pretty much watched it recently, right? Being that it's July. So Jaws is great. You got Quint's Indianapolis speech. It's another Spielberg one. That I feel like I'm mentioning Spielberg too much, but he is the GOAT.
He's great.
But Jaws for me is number 4. As far as creature features go, I don't see it. I can't be topped. So that's my number 4.
Show me the money.
Yep.
Jake, show us the money at your number 4.
This is, I don't know. This movie's unbelievable. What can you say? It has everything. It's got drama. It's got comedy. It's got adventure. And I am talking about, it's got John Candy and it's got Steve Martin, and that is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And what I love about this movie is, obviously the comedy. The scenes are great. The guy, they go, I'm on, whatever he does, and he's like, he's doing snorting, and I mean, the scene where Steve Martin wipes his face with John Candy's underwear is just like, I mean, come on, it's one of the best. But what I love about Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is the whole movie. Spoiler alert. You kind of are wondering, is his wife alive or is his wife dead? And then you find out at the end, Steve Martin has this arc as the character. He's this neurotic, neat, kind of leave me alone. He's annoyed with Candy at the beginning of the movie. He's annoyed with him in the middle of the movie. He's annoyed with him at the end of the movie. But he realizes this is just a guy. He needs help. And that scene with them walking down the street, carrying the trunk, and every time you go away, great song by Paul Young. I mean, it's got the the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is unbelievable. It's one of the best. It's a great
Those
movie.
aren't pillows.
Oh, great. Those aren't. I mean, so many scenes. It's just so many.
Just a scene where, like, my favorite. It's not my favorite, but I love the scene when he's, give me my fucking car. Oh,
yeah. Oh, when he's
like, we've all been there.
It is just it's endless. It's endless fun. Again, the scene where they're driving down the highway and he's going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. How does he know where we're going? How does he know? Like I said, you talk about quotable movies. This movie is that. But this movie it's got it. Like I said, it's got it all, and it's a great movie. So that's my number 4.
Nick.
We got to read the chat, right?
No, it's Jake back to back. That's right. Yeah.
Let's go to the chat. Let's go to the chat. All right. So number 4, James says Pulp Fiction. Okay.
That's a good one.
Paxton says The Dark Knight. Somebody just said The Dark Knight for number 5. James, right? Let me see who else we got here. Entertainment Wizard, Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Ooh, good one.
Can I just say Kellisman has great top 10.
I was just going to read it. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. My God.
I get a feeling her top 3 are going to be so bad that we're just going to forget about all these. She's got all these great ones, and her top 3 are going to be horrible.
Like Dream a Little Dream or some shit, like License to Drive.
Yeah.
License to Drive is fantastic. Let's not even talk about that. Death Sentence, Keith says. Allie
Death Sentence.
Yeah, Allie says You Had Me From Hello, featuring the Jerry Maguire. Scott Stevens says Gravity with Sandra Bullock. That is a good movie with Sandra Bullock. Gravity. That's a good movie with her.
I forgot about that movie.
Yeah.
Tommy Quinn says Pulp Fiction. There you go. Allie says her number 4 is The Wedding Singer. Great movie.
Wedding Singer's
Great
awesome.
movie. With Reverend Sayre from Halloween 4.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yes.
Little tidbit. I always like to work the Halloween in there. And that's what we got for number 4. So I'm back to back here. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
That's what we've been doing this whole time, my friend.
I'm back to back, and number 3 is Back to the Future. Okay. What? I don't know what I can say about this movie. It's just it's a fun movie, man. There's not another movie that takes you does a great job of taking you back in time. The 50s stuff is great. You know, it's I don't know, but it's got Michael J. Fox, it's got Christopher Lloyd, you know, it's got Leah Thompson. She's not wearing a bikini, but she is playing his mother. You know, so I want to make sure people know she's not wearing a bikini.
She's almost raping her future son, but
well, yeah, there's you know, but it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing. It's not, you know. Look, Back to the Future is again phenomenal. It's I did my top 10 movies of '85. It's number 1, and I just don't know what else I can say about this movie.
You know what movie is my top 10 of 1985?
What do you got?
Best Michael J. Fox movie, Teen Wolf.
No. I'm going with Back to the Future. I really don't have anything more to say. It's a classic. It's
sure. So,
Spielberg.
I'll jump in with my number 3. My number 3 is Back to the Future.
I knew
Oh, wow.
I knew it. I said when we get to the top 3, me and Push are gonna be like.
Yeah.
I knew it.
What like Blaster said, what the fuck can you say? If it's not the greatest movie of all time, it might be the most perfect movie of all time. The way lightning in a bottle was struck, pun intended, and just everything just blended together perfectly.
Perfectly.
I love that they'll never remake this movie as long as Shay and Zemeckis are still alive.
Yep.
And if they ever tried, there's a lot of things they won't get right, but you would never be able to catch the chemistry between Lloyd and Fox.
No way.
Ever again.
No way.
It would come off creepy. It would come off this or that. You know, it's just impossible. And just the simplest concept started this movie. Who was it? Was it
Bob Gale?
Shea?
Bob Gale.
Bob
Yep.
Gale. Yeah,
Bob
Bob
Gale.
Gale said, "I wonder if me and my dad would have been friends if
Yep.
I knew him in high school or something like that, right?" And that started it.
And they pitched this movie around for a while. This movie didn't get picked up right away. It was pitched around, and they had to make they made Used Cars with Kurt Russell, which is a great movie.
Yeah.
But they they had a tough time getting the movie made. But and once they did, like Nick said, perfect. I'm sorry to steal your thunder, but perfect movie.
No.
Perfect movie.
I'm used to you attempting just to
I know.
But yeah, I mean, it's Back to the Future, guys. I mean, I've never met anyone that has negative things to say about this movie. Yes,
That's
you can
true.
pick apart little tiny tidbits about time travel and stuff like that. That is fun to do. But when you're watching the movie, you don't care because it's a fun ride and it's great. So Back to the Future, like Blaster, as much as it pains me to say it, he's got good taste with this. That's my number 3.
Are we gonna have the trifecta?
But I don't know. What do you got?
We are not.
Bud doesn't have that movie in his top 10.
It is not in my
That's
top 10.
absurd, but okay.
But my number 3 is Boogie Nights from 1997. That was my 1997 movie you guys couldn't figure out.
Was Mark Wahlberg your sexual awakening? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, but the movie it's
a good movie.
Great cast.
It's a good movie.
Great story. Great music. And it has Roller Girl in it. So
Yeah. You said that was 96, right?
97.
97. Okay. Okay, so that was your 97.
25 years ago, Boogie Nights. This is my
Wow.
I watch this every holiday season.
Oh, that's the one. Okay.
After the Christmas lights go up, I put on Boogie Nights.
Interesting. It's a good movie. Very good movie.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to read the chat? Go ahead, buddy. You want to read the chat?
All right. We didn't get a lot of number 3s here, but Paxton Scoggins had Jaws.
Yeah.
Yep.
James Morant, number 3. His number 3 is Heat.
Yeah, good movie.
That's a good one. Keith A. Eddie and the Cruisers.
Oh, wow. Keith, good call. Yeah,
I've never heard of that movie.
That's a good movie. You never heard of Eddie and the Cruisers?
No.
Oh, wow. What the fuck? Where the fuck have you been?
I don't know.
Entertainment Wizard, number 3, Black Christmas, 1974.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Scott Stevens, you missed it earlier, but we mentioned Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion.
Bud did. Me and Push
I
Scott.
struggled with this one. It was just outside the top 10. But we also found out this week that they're making a new Romeo and Michelle movie. It's coming.
It's crazy to me.
Kells also had Jaws, so Jaws is. I think Jaws is gonna pop up here
Okay, her top 3. She's
quite a bit
she's
here.
Good.
Yeah, and Tommy Quinn had Inside Man with the.
I like that movie.
I like that movie too.
Yeah, that was a good movie. Inside
Yeah.
Man. Interesting.
So,
All right,
are we ready for the number 2?
we're ready, and it's you.
My number 2 is Top Gun, 1986.
I can't argue with you.
You know, as much as I wanted to, I love Top Gun Maverick. I'm just one of those. I just can't put it over the
That's
original Top Gun. And we spoke at length. We have a whole video about Top Gun, about why.
Yep, we did.
It's one of my favorite movies, so I won't go into that. But Top Gun's my number 2.
Oh, I can't argue with you. Top Gun is, again, I had that soundtrack when I was a kid on vinyl. And-
I'm sorry. I forgot Allie. She had a
Okay.
tie in her top 3. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just backtrack. She had Rocky 2 and Halloween 1978 tied
Okay.
for her.
Yeah, can't argue
Okay.
with those.
Yeah.
Can't argue with
All
you.
right. So, Nick, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is the movie that everyone watching is gonna think is my number 1, and that is Halloween 1978.
I'm done. I'm done. This is my last one. My last podcast. I can't do it.
Why? Because it's
What?
not number 1.
What?
Yes.
We're on 2, buddy. We're on 2, not
It-
1. We're on
it-
2.
it-
Well, no, he says Halloween is his number 2
It,
movie.
it is my number 2. Look, I feel like I don't know what to say about this movie because I talk about it nonstop. But look, if you're tuning into this channel, you know that myself and the 2 gentlemen with me are gigantic Halloween guys. It's kind of how we met.
Mhm.
So Halloween 1978. I love it. It's my number 2. It's my favorite horror movie of all time. Simplicity, all that stuff. So yeah, it's my number 2.
I'm trying to think what your number 1 is. Am I missing something?
Just focus on your own list, my friend.
It's
It's bad enough.
Okay. Wow. I'm a little thrown for a loop here. My number 2 is Jaws. I mean, Nick brought it up earlier. I think that Quint's USS Indianapolis speech, and this is my opinion, I think it's the greatest acted scene. I think it's one of the I think it's the greatest scene in any movie, period. Just go back and watch Roy Scheider and Richard Dreyfuss in that scene. Jaws is an amazing movie. It just, what Spielberg had to do, that shark did not work. They built it in California in the freshwater tanks. When they got it to the East Coast and the salt water, they couldn't get the shark to work for half the movie. So Spielberg had to use the camera to imply that the shark was there, and it couldn't have worked out any better. It couldn't have been more genius. You call it a happy accident turned into so I mean, Jaws just has everything. It's the regular guy. It's Brody, a regular guy thrown into an extraordinary situation. And we can all relate. We can all relate to these guys, these characters. These characters are great characters. And I had a buddy that I used to work with, and him and I used to we used to quote this movie so much. Like, you wouldn't think Jaws is like quotable as far as comedy, but we used to quote it so much that now when I watch it, I kind of laugh at all the scenes that we quote. But anyway, Jaws is what can I say? Jaws, it's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah.
So I don't know what more there is to be said about it.
Can't argue.
But,
So
What do we got
So that
for
was-
2?
let's check the chat.
Yeah, we got some interesting ones.
All right, read them up, bud.
Allie has The Crow. James Moran has Nightmare on Elm Street as his
Okay.
number 2.
Crow,
He says
good
it's
movie.
the best horror movie of all time.
Nightmare on Elm Street, huh?
great
The
movie.
That's what
original.
he says.
It's a great movie.
Yeah,
All right, Keith A has Dazed and Confused. That's another great
that's a
one.
good movie.
Another coming of age movie. We talked about those.
Yeah.
Paxton also agrees with Nick that Halloween 1978. Can I just say, I think you two have your top 2 inverted,
Huh?
right?
I thought that
You and Nick have your top 2 inverted, I think.
didn't he already say Jaws?
I did. Jaws was,
Did
Jaws
you?
was my
Never
number
mind.
4.
Well,
He already
Yeah.
said Jaws.
Jaws is
dude.
my
That's
number
what I'm
4.
saying. I don't know
Christ.
what his number 1 is going to be. If it's, I'm telling you right now, if it's Halloween H2O,
No, I'm
if it's
not
Halloween
doing that.
H2O,
I
I'm
would not
taking
do
all
that.
my clothes off and standing up. I'm just kidding.
Okay, anyone,
Carol's,
I will send in some super chats if you want. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Kels is closing out her top 10 strong with Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing.
Scott Stevens, Serial Mom with Kathleen Turner.
Oh, yeah, good movie.
Ooh, I forgot about that movie.
Well, we got an entertainment wizard coming in with Halloween 1978.
Okay.
Tommy Quinn. Oh, Joe has entered the chat, Nick.
I see.
He said he's shocked that Nick's love of Jamie Lee Curtis didn't push Halloween into one spot.
Joe being in the chat, he came in at the right time because we're just about to do our favorite movie of all time, and we can all tell you that Joe, 0 to 14, his favorite movie of all time is Halloween 5. So, Joe, we got you covered, buddy, okay? Halloween 5.
And then Tommy Quinn rounded it out here with Terminator 2, which we may have seen earlier.
Yeah, Terminator 2
Yeah,
was
Terminator 2
great.
is fantastic.
Great. I tried to put Terminator on the list, but I just couldn't do it.
All right, we're ready to go into the number one.
Okay.
So everybody get your number one favorite movie
right?
It's you, Blaster.
in the chat.
It's pretty obvious, probably.
Jake, what is your number one movie? I think I know.
Yeah.
It's right there, buddy. I mean, I don't know. You know, again, my mother introduced me to this movie when I was 8 years old. I just completely was enamored with it. It is the most simple, perfect movie of conveying tension and suspense with no blood. The movie is just a perfect movie. A perfect movie. You can pick out little things about palm trees and, you know, people's shadows and cigarettes. The movie is perfect. You have Donald Pleasance, who just plays it. It's a classic role. What can you say about Don? I mean, you guys know my thoughts, but I'm just giving you a kind of quick overview of it. It's just, I don't know, the whole thing of him being gone. The message of the movie is that it can happen in my town, your town, your town. Mm-hmm. It can happen anywhere. That's why Halloween never needed a sequel. I mean, we all know, you know, we're all talking about this. I mean, my YouTube channel is built around this. Like Nick said, his YouTube channel, Bud is part of the Halloween verse, and we all love this movie, Halloween 1978. But for me, I just if I'm talking about a movie that I will watch anytime, I've watched a million times, I will put it on 3 or 4 times a year, not just in Halloween time. It is Halloween 1978 for sure. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Nick, blow our minds with your number one.
You guys don't know, huh?
I can't wait for this.
All right, my number one is the best adventure movie of all time, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
God damn it.
Yeah. Indiana Jones is my favorite character of all time, not just movie character, television character, novelization character. He's my favorite character of all time. And he was never better in Raiders than in Raiders of the Lost Ark. I know Last Crusade, there's some good banter with him and Sean Connery, but for me, Raiders of the Lost Ark is kind of his arc. He starts out, he doesn't believe in any of these artifacts he's going after. I know they say it in the sequel, or the prequel I should say, but he's going after it for fortune and glory. But by the end of the movie, he's telling Marion, close your eyes. I love the way that movie ends, by the way, with the government taking the Ark. But there's just so many great scenes in this. He's just on an adventure. And he says the quote, I don't know, I'm just making this up as I go. He's battling the fucking Nazis in the late 30s as the Nazis are coming to power. Who wouldn't want to be in that situation? Where you're battling Nazis. So this is Lucas and Spielberg came together while Jaws was being released on film, and they came up with this idea. And Lucas had most of the idea, and Spielberg tweaked it and directed it, and Indiana's named after Lucas's dog. So many great things about this movie. I love it. It's my favorite movie of all time, obviously, and I could watch it all day long. So
are you excited about Indiana Jones 5 next year?
It's funny because there's a still shot that they showed of him standing on a bridge, and it's just kind of silhouetted with light coming. Love it. But no,
Do you think it'll also? Do you think it'll tie back to Raiders of the Lost Ark? Kind of seems
it probably
fits
will.
Harrison
'Cause
Ford's the
Miriam's
last
involved in
one.
it.
It probably needs to.
It's got to. But my problem is they're making old jokes. They're calling him old, making old jokes about him 13 years ago.
Man, we need to find out what the government did with that arc.
I think I like Raiders of the Lost Ark. I do. I think it's a good movie, but for some reason I just really like The Last Crusade. Okay. No, I like The Last Crusade. I don't know why. Great. I don't know why it's my favorite one.
It's more fun.
Yeah, but you're right. Raiders is a great movie. I can't knock you for that. That's a great movie.
All right.
I mean,
so Bud, round us out here, my friend.
Can you guess?
I mean, it's got to be Halloween, right?
It is Halloween, 1978. That's my watch it five times at least.
I take back everything I've ever said about you. Okay.
So I'm the only one that doesn't have Halloween number 1? Wow.
Yeah.
Says a lot.
Halloween is obviously my favorite movie. Yeah. Starting from Jake, we have similar stories. This was a bonding moment with our mothers.
Yeah, it was. My mom
we watched it on NBC.
Yep.
When it premiered
it was on USA
Network television. Yeah.
I watched it. Yep.
So yeah. That's it. That's the top 10. So go to the chat and find out their top 10s. Nick, why don't you take this one?
Sure, I'll take this one. All right. Let's get up here. All right, number 1, we got Keith. Looks like he's at the top. Keith, Halloween 1978. Easily, he says. So he fits in with you guys. And let's just relax here. Remember, Halloween is my number 2 movie of all time. I do not dislike Halloween.
Yeah, let's not hate on Nick.
Like, Jesus Christ.
He is a gentleman.
Let's not get carried away.
Gentle person.
James Morant, Jaws. Yep, we've had that on a couple lists here.
Yeah, Jaws.
0 the 14th, Friday or Halloween 5. Yep, we knew that, buddy. Paxton Scroggins, Back to the Future. Yep, I was in the top 3 of me and Blaster.
We touched on Back to the Future, yeah.
Entertainment Wizard, Halloween 2, 1981.
Wow.
I love Halloween 2. I think we all do.
Yeah, we do. We do love Halloween 2, yeah.
We all do, so yeah.
Best sequel.
Yep, easily. Ellie says Gone with the Wind. Oh, my grandma was obsessed with, she had Gone with the Wind figurines and all kinds of stuff. I should have kept them when she died. I could sell them. But anyway, sorry, Grandma. Let's see here. Scott Stevens, It's My Party with Eric Roberts and Olivia Newton-John. Must see tearjerker.
I've never seen it.
Never fucking heard of it. But
never heard of it.
Yeah.
I'll look for it.
Yeah. Let's see who else we got here. Tommy Quinn, Training Day.
Interesting.
Denzel, yep.
Yeah.
Joel Phelan. What's up, Joel? Says saw Raiders in the theater with his dad. Oh, I'm jealous. Do we have any other number 1s? Nope. That looks like that rounds us out.
James said Donald Pleasance should have been nominated for a Best Supporting Actor. Interesting. You know what? I don't know how the Academy Awards work. I mean, I think Planes, Trains, and Automobiles should have won for 1987, but I don't know how the Academy Awards work. Won the Best Picture.
What did win the Best Picture?
It wasn't Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and that's the only thing that matters. So, no.
1986 was Amadeus, wasn't it?
Yeah.
80. Yeah, but 87. Yeah. I don't remember what it was in the 87.
Oh, was it 87? Oh.
Was it Dream
Warriors? No. Dream Warriors. Yeah, Donald Pleasance is great in the original Halloween. I mean, he makes the movie. He really does. You know.
Yeah.
But these lists are fun. I mean, when we say greatest, if we say, that's why I like favorite, because favorite could be different for everybody. You know what I mean? When you say best, it's going to be a lot of people are going to say the same kinds of movies. And you could see from our lists, that we were, we had some different ones, some of the same. I really thought that Nick and I were going to have the top 3 in the same order, but I guess I forgot about Raiders of the Lost. I was trying to figure out, because I knew you were going to have Raiders on there, and I'm like, yeah. And then when you said it,
but number 1, I know it's a shock.
But yeah.
So let's round it out here. So we are going to be doing this podcast / live stream every week, starting today, minus next week. We need a week off because I'm out of town. so blame me. But we're going to be doing this every week, right, guys? That's
Yep.
the plan moving
Yep.
forward. Similar format where we're going to talk about news and then do top 5 or top 10 lists of various things. So I want everyone watching right now to do us a favor and put in the chat, or what would be great is if you could put in the comments of the video after this.
Yeah, if you're watching after the fact.
Yeah, give us some ideas for future ranking lists. It would be easier if you put it in the comments after we're done, but we'll look at the chat too, just because chats can disappear and stuff like that. But we are open to all kinds of ideas, different ranking lists involving movies and pop culture, anything like that. So we're gonna use that to brainstorm together. But yeah, you guys have any closing thoughts on how you thought?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be movies either. It could be like your top 10 80 songs, some shit like
top
that.
10, whatever, yeah.
Anything you want us to ramble and argue and anything about,
Yeah, we'll argue.
We'll definitely do that. Yeah. But I just want to say that everybody in the chat who was giving their top 10 along with us, thanks for the participation in the chat, guys. That was awesome.
You guys didn't disappoint.
It was fun to see your top 10s and your favorite movies. And this was a great topic to start off with. I had a lot of fun with this. So
thanks, Bud.
I don't think it was Bud. Was it you?
Oh yeah. It was me.
I don't know. I doubt that. But yeah, no. So like Nick said, we're gonna do this. Try to do this every week.
Fucking Joe.
You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We started a Twitter and Instagram for Fancy Talk Podcast.
Yeah.
We have our own Instagrams and Twitters, but obviously, if you want to follow just the podcast too, that'd be great. And but yeah, so I don't know. Anything else, guys? In closing?
No.
Oh yeah. Next week we're doing the Halloween 6 trivia. Did you bring that up?
I did. We did not bring that up yet, but
we're gonna do that over at the Halloweenverse YouTube page, like we've been doing. So brush up on your Halloween 6.
Yeah, just watched it last night.
Yeah.
Night.
Just want to reiterate, we're doing the original cut. We're not gonna.
Yeah.
Yes, the theatrical cut, not the producer's cut. So brush up on your Halloween 6 theatrical cut of the movie.
Yep. And Joe says top 10 Denver Broncos QBs that look like a horse. Go fuck yourself, Joe.
Oh, Jesus.
2-time champion he's talking about.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, so this was fun, guys. Like I said, this is the first of many. We're not gonna be doing this next week, which is my fault. But starting right after that, we're gonna have episode 2. But and then so on every Thursday for the foreseeable future. Other than that, like I said, give us your list you want to hear down in the comments. We appreciate you guys watching, and good night, everyone.
Yep. Have
Thanks,
a good
guys.
night. Thanks.